Alrighty, we're back for another live stream. We're doing these weekdays around the same time, 3:15 Eastern time for the most part. Yesterday we did a little bit earlier. Go try to generally go about an hour. So you can always watch these back if you need to. I start off with some general tips, what I think is important for the market that day, and then we'll get to some requests. As we get into the requests, you can see these color codes off to the side here. Orange, green, red. Those are my self-proclaimed grades for said charts, A, B, and C grades. Obviously, the best ones, the best charts are in the green. Cautionary charts are in the orange, which aren't necessarily super bullish, but also are not super bearish. So have the potential to flip green, most of them. The red ones, not good. If you're in all red, you've probably not done so well this bull run so far, and you might stay there. So just a forewarning, those are my opinions, but just based on the charts, they're not strong charts, and you want to kind of see your way out of those as much as possible, per my opinion. Okay, so here's a summary. We have 27 on my list that are in the red. We have 60 in the green, that's great, and 46 in the orange. As time progresses, we'd hopefully like to pick up more green and less red, less orange. So as you request these, most of your requests are already on my list. If it's a new request, obviously we don't have it, and we'll grade it at the time. Thanks for joining. Let's get right to it. Alrighty. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, Juiced. What's up? What's happening? Swifty? Doing good? Welcome in, my good gents. We'll get to requests in just a minute. Looking at dominance, because most of your requests come for alts, right? And if we want our alts to do good, we need Bitcoin dominance to not do good. Bitcoin dominance, as of right now, is still, you can see, a green chart, right here. We've got to get this to the downside. When was our great times in alts so far this bull run? Well, early on in the bull run, of course, but more specifically, January 2024 and October. Right, October 2023 to January, those are great times. Look at what Bitcoin dominance is doing. Not a whole lot. A lot of chop, more red than green. Even from this top right here. Right, we got a big move down there. 7% from high to low. And some alts did like over 5x during that span. So if we want a true alt season, my prediction is, it could start as, it could be right around the corner if this is the actual top. But I think we're going to have to get below this zone, this middle zone here, under the 200 week, this pink line, which was loosely held as resistance, flipped to support. We're going to get full-blown alt season once we're under here. That's my prediction. Now, I'm well aware, if we get a red candle like this, it'll already be underway up here. So we're looking for that. But if you want to see 100% move out of your favorite altcoins in a given week or maybe even day, it's going to have to be when Bitcoin dominance is under here. And we have our support here. You're like, well, that wouldn't be much of an alt season. I would agree with you. I don't think this alt season is going to be anywhere like 2021. I think at best case, I think we're going to get something like this maybe, which is still going to be great. Don't get me wrong, but keep in mind, that looks pretty similar. Maybe we get that. There's too much money in Bitcoin now. The ETF and shit, it's not leaving Bitcoin as hard as it did previous cycles. That's also my prediction, in my opinion, and you can like it or not like it, but that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking maybe less than half of this. So we get down to this zone, and you're up 5x, 10x, whatever it is, right? Especially if this is already the top. You might want to think about securing some of your profits. That would be like a 18% down move from the top, and that's also assuming this is the top and we're not going to go higher. But our previous swing lows in 2020, pretty close to swing highs so far. We've just also made a lower low, which we had a little bit more in-depth discussion on this in my Telegram group this morning. This is a lower low, but look where we've also had lower lows right here, right? This took out lower lows. This took out lower lows. So it caused some confusion. And to clarify this, just for you all as well, why do I think this time might be different? We did have a high wave candle to this zone, which we didn't do here. we're not, obviously Bitcoin dominance is not likely to top out in the first 6 months of a bull run, right? So there's that. There was the first lower low. And how about the next time, a year in? We were roughly a year in right here, so we could have done it here, but again, previous resistance that flipped to support, so we knew that that was probably not the end, right? So here we go again. And now we're, I think, my opinion, that we're roughly halfway through this cycle. That, generally speaking, could be about where we top for Bitcoin dominance. Dominance, right? Not necessarily Bitcoin price top, right? Obviously, we hope not. Another several months of maybe Bitcoin going to new highs, and then, you know, along that path, alts start to flip. Bitcoin dominance starts to drop a little bit as we get up to new all-time highs, and then we start to shift gears to more alts over the next 6 months or so. That's just my opinion. We could go higher, and that would just prolong our cycle, right? So that would be a good thing if we kind of continue up, I guess. But that's my 2 cents. That's what I wanted to start off with. Hopefully you found that somewhat helpful. If not, then you've tuned out a long time ago. So welcome in, all 10 of you. At least you're trying to learn something here. So if you're new to the stream, my name is Chase. I've been in crypto since 2017. I do this full time, trying to help you out, avoid all the scams and the pitfalls of the BitBoy types of crypto that just stream out 1000x overnight, and you know that's usually the exit liquidity for those people. Trying to flip that script so you don't get dumped on here. No, I don't think blow up top is in July. We went over this a little bit deeper yesterday. I think there's many reasons for that, but first and foremost, like, I would like to hear anyone that thinks we're going to have a blow off top argument for this chart, the altcoin year index. Let's go look at last cycles. Yep, there we go. Right, so look at, well, adjust the chart a little bit more here, bud. Okay, so 2020, sorry for the speedboat up and down, but you can see this, right? Look at alt seasons up here, 2020, 2021, 2022, right? Towards the end of 2021, right? Going into 2022. But look at where we've done so far. Where alts haven't even sniffed anything. You think alts are done? Probably not, right? I think we're going to at least get some kind of a rally on the upper tier. And keep in mind of the time frames here, right? These are years at the bottom, not seconds or minutes, right? So I think we have some time here. I think we're probably still roughly a year away from this cycle ending. And I think all the people calling for shorter tops than that, certainly within the next couple of months, will just shift their narratives and say there's something else, and you know, just flip the script. BitBoy did that several times last cycle. So those who are calling for a top now, it'll be the next month or delayed a little bit longer. So I think there's plenty of other facts and narratives you could go off of to argue against a blow off top for Bitcoin in the next 1 month. He's only given a month here. I feel like that's a little dangerous, right? But okay, I'm all for it. I like CoinSkid, but you know, just because I like it doesn't mean you're right. All right, so and doesn't mean I'm right either, right? So we can ipso facto. All right, so let's get to some requests now. Let's see, Myro. I think we left off with that one yesterday. Let's get to it. It's a green chart, so that's a good one. Up another 9% today. Here's the weekly. And the orange line, that's where we turn orange if we close back below 22 cents there. So let's go look at a zoomed in version. And we'll try to get to all your requests, so just pump the brakes. You have the attention span of a soup sandwich, right? I don't know what that means. Let's look at some fib scales here. Let's see what we got for this short-term move. The 1618, our next area of interest, at least for this narrow time frame, $1.12. All right, so let's look at how much we have. We have, you know, just over a 4x to get to that. That's pretty solid. Let's see what these kind of moves do. Right, so there was 1,000%. Those are 10x right there. Let's see what that one would have done. So let's look at this. So, whoops. Get it right. If you hold down Control on your keyboard, so like the number CTRL, and it'll snap right to these wicks, so you don't have to try to eyeball it, right? It'll go exactly to that number. So did we make it to the 1618 on that one? Not really, but still early in the cycle. Not a whole lot of history, so you don't want to be too judgmental there. But I would say for this one, you kind of want to pay attention a little bit more to that 112 area, just an area of interest. That's all fibs are good for, areas of interest. Don't take them too much to the grave or whatever, or anything like that. But there's your levels for the fib extension there. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. I don't think we can get that quite that high probably, but whatever the market cap is, just go type in the price, whatever the market cap needs to be, and then you can do your gains. Right? There's 300%, 1700%, 8600%, and get the hell out. All right, so let's see what we've done so far. We've already done 4,000%. So to get to the 1618, that would be a 10,000% move. Keep that in mind. To get to the $5 area, that's 45. So this is already a bit of a stretch, right? I don't know of any coins last cycle that did a 46,000% move. Maybe one or two. So is that going to happen this cycle? Probably not. Right? If we're not going to have an alt season like last cycle, I would doubt we're going to see a 50,000% move. So from here, that's still over an 18x away. That's still pretty great. Potentially, right? Fucking water again. All right, Ocean and Fib. Get to it. Well, we got what, 10, 9, 8 days away from the merger for Ocean. ASI. If you don't know about ASI, you probably don't know about Ocean or Ajax or Fetch. So those three are going to become one. Artificial superintelligence. That happens on the 13th, I do believe. Ocean, Fib. Well, it's almost pointless to do Ocean, right? Because it's going to be ASI in 10 days. So these are going to kind of be meaningless because it's not going to exist anymore. I don't know. There'll probably be some exchanges you can still buy it after the 13th, but maybe not. I haven't heard any information on that. But looking at this, if these weren't going to merge, I would have a lot more Ajax and Ocean. But I've kind of waiting to see how this goes. That could be a poor play on my part, but I would rather not take the risk. I don't know if that's because I think the market cap's going to be like $7 billion to start. It can go higher, but I mean that's already a hefty sum for all those three. So there's your fib extensions here. Let's see. So roughly about the same as we just looked at. There's 800%. Let's see what it's done from the start. From our we got to go way back. So none of these are already up a lot. 1,300% so far. So we're getting 2,600. This is still more than doable, right? All these numbers. Maybe even the 3618 potentially. That's $20. But we talked about Fetch reaching perhaps 20, and that was a bit of a stretch. So for Ocean to do that, I'd be a little skeptical. If we think Fetch is going to hit 20, and it's at 2 already, Ocean's at 1, about half of that. So the 2618, somewhere around there, might be more plausible, doable. But the market cap and the extensions would both allow for that, so possibly. But again, the ASI, it's like, is this worth even looking at anymore? I don't know. Injective up a little bit more today. Finally, needs to wake back up. So I think Bitcoin will drop 85 to 90% in the bear. I think it'll drop probably 70 to 80. I don't think I'd go 90. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all if we hit 70 to 80, if that helps. And I do think this bear market's going to be longer than the next one. We can talk about that, or excuse me, the longest bear market we've seen in crypto because of ETFs and all that. Let's see, what else? Jasmine. Sure, we can look at Jasmine. It's a green coin. See if I can find it here just by looking through. It's right there. Whoops. Okay, so Jasmine on the daily chart. I mean, just building a wall here. It likes the wall effect, just straight up. Okay. Where's the 618? It's at 5 cents, 5.5 cents right there. So current price is their 618 is another 50% move almost. Go out to the weekly. A little bit too zoom in here. Again, there we go. So adjusted, nice move from our lows. We've already gone up. I mean, we're at released local highs, 1,500%. 2,000 to get to the 618. We're at 4,500. Do some stretching here. See if we can get up to 750. That would be it's a little bit, sounds a little bit fairy tale and unicorns here, but yeah. So look at the move. 300,000%. Yeah, probably not. But there's 13,000% just to new all-time highs. So if you want to match kind of what the peak coins did last cycle, you're going to have to get to around 70 cents. That's a 25,000% move. Not a whole lot of coins are going to do much more than that. Is this going to be one of them? Perhaps. But if you're expecting $7 or whatever the BitBoy of this cycle will exclaim for, who knows what, right? Do the market cap adjustments. Look at the calculations where it's gone so far from the lows to the highs. Keep yourself checked here. Right? So unlikely we're still gonna go another 20,000% from current prices. They're like comical. But another 10x, it's still a 10x to get to all-time highs. Keep that in mind. Now it's looking good, right? It's certainly got the pump-mental effect, and that's what you want. If you're gonna want to be one of the best performers, you better have been performing already, right? You can't look at this and be like, oh, I've gone up 2x, right? There's some coins that are up like 100%, and they think they're just gonna do another 100x from here. Like, why? Now, coins that have already done a 10x in 100 inside of 5 months, okay, I could maybe buy that a little bit more. There's a 14x, inside of just what 7-8 months. Sure, I could buy that. It's the pump-mentals. You gotta respect them, because if it can't move, it's not likely going to move, and that's also why we're rating these charts. So coins that are in the red I would say there's probably no red coins that are up 1,200% from October. I would say zero, just off the top of my head. You could go check, but I would almost damn guarantee it, which is why they're red. Right? You've got to be able to move when it's time to move. And, you're like, well, I'll wait till alt season. Why? These others aren't. Why would you want to wait to see if the car is fast when you're already getting lapped? Yeah? Get in the damn car and start driving. Get into the faster charts. All right. Next request. So July 2025. I'm assuming you're thinking for the cycle end. That's kind of what I'm leaning at. Give or take probably 3 months on either side. So maybe like a spring top of next year or late summer for this cycle. Alrighty, XLM. Well, Boris has at least been paying attention. XLM, even though it's probably on the red list. Right, you are, Ken. Remember that? Anybody remember that show? What was it called? MXC or something? It was like some Chinese dub-over of some kind of extreme elimination challenge or something. Someone's got to know what I'm talking about. That was so funny. Right, you are, Ken. The guy always said, right, you are, Ken. He was an idiot. All right, XLM. I think the last time we talked about XLM was probably October. And surprise, surprise, we're still at the same prices. So what did we just look at? We just looked at, what was the last request? Jasmine, that had put in a 10x since October or whatever. You know what XLM has done since October? It's done 0x. Holy hell. All right. So I mean, you don't have to take my word for these folks. I mean, just pull up a chart and use your eyes. The moving averages are all moving down. The price is underneath all moving averages. The trend is down or sideways at best. This is not a chart you want to be in. I mean, let's look at what it's done from the start of this bull run. We'll even start with the green candle here at the low. We are now up a whopping 48% for the entirety of this bull run. 48%. We just got off a coin that's done 1,700%. You're in your race car and it's out of goddamn gas. It hasn't moved. It's you've pushed it across the damn. You're out of the starting blocks. Just get in your car now and at least try to roll to the finish line. That's all you got. There's no pump effects here. I mean, it tries, and sold off quite immediately. But even that was only a 2x, really. A 2x. That was your best move in this bull run so far. A 2x. No bueno. Take notes on all these red coins. Hopefully you're not in a bunch of these. And if you are, hopefully it's not with a whole lot of what you got. So where can you see my picture at? It's under... Sorry, I'll wait for a minute for the delay. I'm going to tell you what the rest of the red ones are. So it stops with one. PYR, SNX, Tether Dominance, XCN, XLM, and Audio are the ones you can't see behind my picture. And keep in mind, most of these were very strong movers last cycle. Namely, Harmony 1 was like a rocket ship. I mean, just go look at it. Look at this last cycle. Holy hell. This is what we're waiting for this cycle. What? 5,000% in less than 3 months? Yes, please. Let's hopefully we can all get some of that in this alt season. Although I don't think it's going to be quite that strong. I don't think many coins are going to do this. But this is what I'm talking about. Don't be married, right? Just ride the wave up and exit at some point, hopefully, before full-blown bear market starts. And then, pick some new coins next cycle, right? Most of these coins are not brand new. They're older. I shouldn't say old. They're like, 3 years old? 4 years old? But I don't think there's too many new ones this cycle in here, if any. That should tell you something. All right, let's get going. RBN request, and we'll get to Taylor Swift. Is that it? I feel like this is not it. Oh, there we go. Got it. Coinbase. I don't know why it didn't come up quickly. All right, so this is not on the red list, even though we're still on the red list. My bad, I should have reset to, let me actually uncheck this. Go to my list first, and then we'll start this. Okay, so let me do that again. Gotta keep it fair so we remember what to pick here, and we'll color code this. Okay, so now we got it on our chart. So now we got to see where this is going to fall. So automatically it doesn't look like red, right? It looks like it can at least move when it needs to move. From the start of the bull run, we're up still almost 6x, right? That's a good sign. October lows to the highs, 1,200%. Great, another good sign. Good job there. We're trying to hold our 21 week now. That's a good sign. Back above that, ideally to be like full grown A chart green. I'd like to be like $1.10, but we're right there. At least kind of looking kind of flaggish, right? I like these sharp downturns. This is a good sign, right? How it's like defined channel right there. That leads me to believe we're about to do something a little bit bigger here. Hopefully in the next month or so. Certainly if Bitcoin dominance is in the process of topping or has topped, that might play out really well for you. So good chart. Good looks here. Let's Let's hello. Get off of that. Let's look at the Gaussian channel. Make sure we're good. We're above the weekly. That's a good check. Let's check the 5-day. Okay, how about the 3-day? We're in it. So here's our check on the 3-day. We don't want to go. This is where we flip this orange. We close a 3-day candle under that. We will downgrade this to orange. If we can flip this to, let's say, let's paint this. That will be, I would still call it green, but this would be super green. I'm still going to probably grade this a green chart because I like the moves. I like that it's holding up there. Looks pretty good. The daily chart, almost, many coins are below their Gaussian channel here on the daily. Daily's a little suspect. That's why you really stick to Gaussian channel 3-day, 5-day, weekly. We're really close to being green, so I like it. I think yeah, the well-defined channel in the downtrend. So we'll go green on this one. I think it looks pretty good. And it's my channel, and I can green if I want to. Okay. All right. Juice's favorite coin. We're gonna get to Taylor Swift coin. It's not really that. Don't hold me to that. It's down here somewhere. Here it is. Got it. And this just actually went back to green. It was orange, I think, the first time we talked about it, or first request, right? If I recall correctly. Revisit to the initial highs. Now pivoted to support above the 21 week. Green light, green light. Can it move when it needs to move? Green light, green light. Yep. 800%. Nice little swing move there. Above all moving averages. Price discovery in range. What's not to like? Absolutely a green chart. That's what you want to see. I guess we could try a fib just to look at it, but I don't. If you've watched any of my stuff, I don't like doing fibs from initial candles on the chart. I like to have some kind of history here. So I would take this with a grain of salt, really, but we'll see if this plays out. So what we got? 1.5 cents at the 618. Let's see what that gets. Got 167% there. The 2618, almost to a penny. Another 16x from here. 17x. Looks pretty good. Would that still be in cohorts with our moves? I mean, that's only 13,000%. I mean, some coins went harder than that. So this might be one of them. Swift coin. You have to get some kind of Taylor Swift tattoo if this gets up here. All right, just between me and you. Taylor Swift tattoo above a penny. All right. And it won't be anything about Taylor Swift. You'll just think of me every time you look at Taylor Swift. That's weird. All right, TrueCoin. Keep it on par here. Bell. Go to Binance. I think this is a newer one. We haven't, I don't think we've got this requested yet. But good request. I would guess right off the bat, this is probably going to be an A chart. Nice moves. Up 700%. And let's go back and look at our swing high lows. Right, look at that resistance support zone. I mean, it's pretty money. You can even extend this up. So these swing lows from the early bear market. New swing high resistance, and we've just broken through. Absolute stellar. Great. This is the charts you want to be in. Yes. Pat yourself on the back. Great pick. Where would this turn orange? Where would I be hesitant? Just below 11 cents? Not until then. 11 cents is the orange. So you're green until there. Where it's green. Let's paint that orange there. We'll leave that there. That looks great. And I mean, yeah, all-time highs. We're looking at a high wick of another, 6x almost. High closes, not that much, right? 3.5x. All right, looking pretty great. Good chart, and happy to do that one, green. That's a really good one. Tezos. haven't heard that request in about 3 years. Oh man, I don't even know if it's even on my list anymore. Let's find out. I used to have a bunch of Tezos. I had a shirt. I still have a shirt. I should wear my Tezos shirt next stream. It's the got a spaceman on it. Tezos did good last cycle. Let's go look at where it's at this cycle. Womp womp. All right, so I know there's more history than this on here. Let's see. No, whatever. We'll just do it from here. Because it's not a good chart, right? Underneath all moving averages, it's like immediately like a red chart. If you're underneath all moving averages at this point, you're in trouble. Your massive pump was 156%. Underneath, you couldn't even get above the 100 week. That's the blue line. This could be green if it was above $1.50, right? That's where we go, right? Look at this move here. Not very clear. But I would go to the resistance zone, and then we do. So if we want to turn this green, it's got to be way the hell up here, which we're only. We still have almost 50% to really just get us green again. Orange, where we get to orange? I guess if we could get up here. Let's paint that. Not very well defined though, right? Maybe I go to like this level. That would be our. Oh, that's an ugly ass orange. That's like a rotten orange, right? Let's get a brighter orange. There we go. But right now we're red. Like this is the red zone. Like where are we red? Anywhere under here, right? That's all red. This is bad. We're in a bad zone. There's your levels. No bueno. Our big show off move was 150%. That's abysmal. Right? Looking weak. Likely to stay weak. Like all-time highs? I don't think that's the real all-time highs, but I don't think we're even getting back there. You got to do. You have almost a 10x to get to all-time highs. Not likely. This is just my opinion. Like it or not. All right, so another one bites the dust. Tezos to the red list. Sadly. Ones that were doing great last cycle, not so great this cycle. All right, Chainlink 2019 purchaser. Let's go look at it. Chainlink. So this is what we looked at in our last Chainlink video, or maybe it was on our last live stream. If we come back down, we're looking to hold this as support. We must hold this as support, $16. If we go down, we could bounce higher. Oh, great. 16 is the break, right? And we can do the same thing. That would be our orange zone. We come back in here, that'd be orange, back to orange. We just flipped from orange to green. We were orange in Chainlink. Good little pattern here. Fall down, falling wedge there, and then kaboom out of it. Now we're above resistance. Look how long we stayed at resistance back here. November to almost February. Resistance. We're now trying to flip that to support. That would be big. If Chainlink can hold that, or just continue on up, right? That'd be great. But I think, $30 is really our next target. 27 to 30, right? Our highs from our early bear market. November 2021 high, 33. Right after that, then the blue skies ahead. So where are our targets at? Well, we can do our fib from our high low. 226 is the only target we really have. So I'm hesitant to think that we're going to do that the longer it takes here. 400% really from lows to highs is already pretty decent. You got to keep in mind the market cap context, right? So if you're like looking at a $100 million coin and it did a 10x and you're like, oh, Chainlink only did a 4x. $10 billion is a little harder to move than 100 million. Okay, so you have to keep those numbers in mind, right? Okay, So having said that, a $10 billion market cap to move 4x is pretty strong. All right. So if we can't get those, let's eliminate that. If say pretend we're not going to $226 a cycle, then we can also go like from this swing high to low and put it on our shorter time frame. And let's see if we have some levels here. All right. Now this makes sense. Look at this 1618. You want to really pay attention to fib levels if you look to the left. And in history, it was also a kind of a pivotal moment. And do we have that? Yes, that's be a big check. So 33, 34 will very likely be a resistance, very big resistance point for Sterlink. Okay. Not only that, but I do believe if we go to the monthly, now we're approaching like all-time high closes for the monthly, 38. We only closed one candle above this level, that 1618, only one candle. So yeah, if we close above that, realize there's some big things happening and we're likely going to catapult much further. So 34 is going to be huge for Chainlink. Okay. After that, we have 65, 2618. After that, 124. Now, I think we could maybe get there, but we got to get our act together. It's going to depend on how this goes once alt season starts. Once we start seeing alts move, Chainlink's got to keep pace and not lag behind like it normally does. So we have to pay attention on that. And that's only if we want to like breach, 125. Okay. I think, 65 to 100. Sure. Somewhere in there is very likely. Above this, it's got to be strong, got to be quick when we start alt season. Okay. So there's some good levels to make note of. Most importantly, at least first, $34. Look at the swing highs. Look at the swing high from 2021, from August 2021, from November 2021, $34. Probably pay attention around the $34 mark for Chainlink. All right, Toncoin. All right, we haven't looked at this one in a while, I guess. That's probably the first couple live streams where I started writing letters on the charts. All right, weekly. Obviously a great looking chart here at all-time highs. What's not to like? Let's look at our October lows. Where the hell is it? Like to September, October. We've been doing a lot of October lows, but I guess we can go from this breakout lows. Still another 300% from our lows from June. Year ago. 7x. So pretty good. I still got some room to go. So to me, strong coins that are basically an up only and in all-time highs and haven't done a 3,000% move yet. Maybe they've still got some big bang left. So this would be one of them. Great looking chart. The breakout, ideally, right? You would have wanted to buy like right here, just under $3, right? That was the move, right? Up here, right? It was just like it could fizzle out, could come back down, but that was the buy right there. That would have been an excellent purchase, which is why it, catapulted probably some big orders open just above these wicks, just in case it got filled and just ride the moon up. The move down went right to the EMA 14, holding up again. We're at all-time highs. Price discovery looks stellar. Let's look at fib from here to here. $28, $17. You can't really do fibs on this one, right? I wouldn't do it from that. Like an open wick, that seems a little suspect, but we can do it just in case. Well, our 1618 is kind of 825, so we'll see if we get some kind of resistance or consolidation here. Maybe this will play out. What's our next level? Is at $36. So from our lows, that would still only be 5,000%. So it looks like we could potentially even get up to there from our lows. That's 22,000. That seems batshit crazy to me, but I mean, do another 22x from here. Potentially, what's the coin market cap on this? What's the Go look at it. This has piqued my interest a little bit. Oh, it's already top 10. That's probably gonna be a little rough then. So it's already $18 billion. Yikes. That kind of puts the damper on another 22x, right? Let's see, 1808. So 10x. Well, 10x, right? From current prices. Let's see what that would get us to. And that takes us to 70. That'd be a lot, though, right? $180 billion market cap. Not impossible. But to get up there, probably impossible, right? So between, I don't know, I say if we get to the 2618, you need to probably check left and right, and maybe I don't know where you bought in at, but I mean, if you're already up 10x or more, maybe think about taking some profits at least, or at least taking your initial investment out. But looks stellar chart. I don't know why we don't get more requests for my top 10 coin, but that's ridiculous. $18 billion top 10. And it's just nobody's requested it yet. That's pretty crazy. So kudos for request. Okay, so why do I think it'll be a long bear market? Well, first and foremost, the stock market has been going up like on fumes seemingly for years. So I think we're going to have a huge correction there. Maybe more than a correction, right? And then not only that, but just the fact that crypto's seemingly on 4-year cycles, and I think it's not going to be that obvious forever. And not only that, but Bitcoin's just been on a stellar run. The ETF stuff, there's some other things, but it's just my opinion that I think this bear market's going to be pretty devastating, right? For not just crypto, like markets wide, and it's going to be longer. I don't necessarily think it's deep, right? I don't think it's necessarily going to go 80, 90% down. Maybe shallower, maybe 60, 70, but last longer. We'll see how that plays out. That's my opinion for now. ADA. It's definitely on the red list. All right, let's look at it. Cardano. Another stellar coin from last cycle. This cycle, not so much. My best Borat impression there. Up 83%, so not the worst. Certainly better than Matic. Better than Tezos, right? Tezos was worse than this, right? Let's see what its final show-off finisher move was. The Fatality went to 200%. Wow. Not great there. Let's see what we got to get back to our good old all-time highs. Just a 6.5x. Not great there. Could we possibly get up there? Maybe. I still called on, I think a week or two ago that I don't think ADA will see all-time highs again. If it does, it might be like a double top. That's just my opinion. But if you're thinking ADA is going to go to some batshit crazy number this cycle, I would ask you, why? What are you basing that on? Because this chart sure as hell doesn't look like it. You're telling me you're getting ready to do a 10x, and your strong move so far is a 3x? Don't think so. Underneath all moving averages, you still got your 100-week aiming down. Like this is real bad. Let's clean this up and let's look at the Gaussian. You're back in the Gaussian on the weekly. Terrible sign. I can't tell you how bad of a sign that is. That's not good. The 5 days definitely in. You're holding that median. I would. This is like do or die. Like maybe literally for ADA, if this goes back under this median 5-day Gaussian. So this is we gotta invent a new color for ADA. This is already red. So let's go. Let's invent the new color now. Here's what you don't want. You don't want. Pick the wrong tool. Let's see. Let's do purple because nobody likes purple anyway. So, purple. You're underneath hell. You're coming out the other side. You're now in China. This is bad. So we're almost going through hell here. We're already in hell. And where could we get out of? I would go orange. We could maybe make it out of the red at 382, because then we would at least take out this high. So we can go with that. We can switch it. Maybe it's got some fuel left, and then I would say we gotta reach new, at least local highs to get back to green again. Right. So there's where we are. And Ada, congrats! You've got your first purple line on any chart ever. We definitely got to put one on Matic. So there we go. There's so many coins that are like at their 618s already, or higher. I mean, there's a handful of coins that are at new all-time highs. And we're looking at Ada that's on the verge of passing Satan. All right. Back to reality here. Let's see where we at. DXY. DXY. Good request. We haven't got that much. It's orange, right? Look at sideways. It's just not doing anything. Uptrend, sharp downtrend. Let's get to the weekly. Right, look what's just happened though. Not that I don't like diagonal lines. If you're following a lot of people that put a bunch of weight in diagonal lines and like, oh, it broke. Like, like get out of here. Like, oh, okay, it's been going for 6 months. That's not a huge trend line, and the trend is just meant to show you which direction the trend is, up or down. It's like, okay, maybe we should pay attention. It is breaking this line, but other than that, like horizontal support and resistance is what you want to be paying attention to. Like that zone. Get it back yellow here. So if we get under this yellow zone, you could see like resistance, support, resistance, resistance, support, resistance. We get back, or support, excuse me. If we get back under here, right? Stuck again, DXY down, US dollar down. It's basically a no trend right now. It's just sideways. And what, 18 months of sideways? Yeah, not a whole lot going on there. Let's look at the monthly. Not many charts you can look at the monthly and get a zoomed out perspective, but DXY is always there. We've had this for a while. Gaussian channel still green somehow, and the monthly actually doesn't look that bad. Right, we're still above these range highs from good old 2017. Range high wick again, but we've kind of broken that structure a bit. So I think the stock market, crypto's relatively decoupled a lot from this. If you haven't noticed over the past like 6 to 12 months, even when the DXY is going up or down, like it doesn't seemingly have a much of an effect, like as it used to back during these days or previously. So I think we can start to pay less attention to the DXY in the macro scheme of things. We're on here. Oh, injective moving. Got some alerts set. Let's just look at the 3-month chart just because we're here. 3-month chart. I mean, we've breached these highs. I mean, look at this. Look at this chart. I mean, how many charts can you look at? 45, 50 years of 50 years of history right here. You're looking at 50 years. That's pretty impressive. But guess what? There's a high. There's a lower high. And I guess you could argue a higher high or macro lower high. I think this is just part of the same trend though, right? This is the trend. That was the trend. And I would say lower high after lower high after lower high is really the trend, right? Crazy. Just to look at that from, a chart you've probably never seen before, a 3-month chart zoomed out 50 years, looking at a 3-month Gaussian channel. Like there's no other charts you can really do that except maybe the stock market, but we're not going to be able to do it. Let's go back to 2003 on the S&P 500. Right, let's look at this. Let's zoom back into the weekly to keep it real. So here's our S&P 500. Fibonacci target, almost 5,900. Another almost 10% away. That'd be pretty crazy, right? I remember when everyone was calling for, you know, crashes, the epic crashes, all the way from, I mean, if you've been following some people like I have, I mean, they crash, right here. The most epic crash ever is coming. The most epic crash ever is coming. The most epic crash ever is coming. Oh, here's the most epic crash ever. Just kidding. The most epic crash is coming. The most epic crash is coming. Now, I do think it is coming, but obviously, if you say, you scream that long enough, you're going to be right eventually. But this partly fits the bill where we haven't had any substantial correction in ungodly amounts of time. I mean, look at that, right? Here's the 3-month chart again. So let me remove this. I think we need that. Let's just remove all that, right? That's not much. This was not much. 25%, it's like, that's pretty bad, but it's not 2008 bad. There's 60%. I think something like that might be on the books here. Look how long we've been away from the Gaussian channel here. Right, the Gaussian channel tends to act as a magnet over time. Let's look at the year candles. Up only, right? Let's look at the monthly candles. There you go. 2008 caused the only time we flipped red on the Gaussian channel. Look at the pandemic drop right to the bottom of the Gaussian channel on the monthly. I mean, right to it. Impressive. So I think we're going higher, but I think there will be some kind of epic crash or a longer bear market because of that. And I think crypto will be included in that probably this cycle, at the end of the cycle. So let's say we go to that 1618 fib scale, right? 5,800, 5,900. So 25% takes us only back to range lows. 30%, see, 40% takes us back to 2022 lows. That's still not that crazy. I think it's going to take something like 45 to 50% in the stock market to really, really wake up somebody. Most people, right? Look at these range lows back here. There's the pandemic, 2018. That's still not 2008 bad. Keep that in mind. This is still less significant than the 2008 crash. 56% in the stock market. That would devastate a lot of people. Right? Maybe that comes in 2026 to 2028, something like that, where we go up and then just have, drawdown over the next 2 years. Something like that. 50, 60%. Maybe the bottom of Gaussian channel could be roughly around the 3,000 mark. Kind of in line with back here, this high, pivot low. I'll go with that. Something right in there. And yeah, that'd probably be a red chart at that point. Could probably go to that. So just my opinion on that. But if it starts to play out, you heard it here first. I know there's many people calling for crashes, but like I said, they have been calling it forever. I think we're going higher first. I think we'll probably at least go to knock on the door of 6K and probably take this out another roughly a year, just like crypto. Not likely that one's going to go up and one's going to go down, right? I think we're going to last another 6 to 12 months in the stock market and, 8 to 15 months in crypto, and then we'll epically go down in flames together for a while. At least a year. Probably one of the longer bear markets. Certainly if the stock market does that, we're in deep kind of shit, right? All right, we're getting off on tangents here a little bit, but let's get back to it. Here's Bitcoin. How's Bitcoin doing right now? 71, looking great. Where do I think Bitcoin will top out at? Nobody asked, but 120 to 150? If I had to ask, if I had to answer right now, I don't think we're going to see like 200K or 250K or anything like that. And I don't think we've topped out now. And I don't think we're going to have a blow off top in the next 30 days. All right. What's my plans for the next bear market? Take a conservative yet mildly aggressive short after the bear market's been confirmed and just ride it for at least 60% down. I think Bitcoin will go down at least 60%. Not shorting anything else. Just set it and forget it kind of thing. No over leverage. If I can increase my Bitcoin 2 or 3x in the bear market, win-win. Digibyte, yes. That's still a meme. If go Google crypto, we should do it. Not crypto.com. Images. Like, it'll be on here. I know I've seen it. Digibyte's like here. Let me know if you see it. Scream it out at me, because I can hear you. Well, it used to be. I know it's here. Like, if you're ever looking, because I look for, like, clip art, for my YouTube videos all the time, and I always used to see Digibyte, like, one of the first ones. I was really hoping I'd Google it and it'd be right there, but yes, Digibyte, I do remember that. Even their logo. Sorry, I tried. All right, what else? Let's get back to the task at hand. Hang on, I gotta turn my AC down real quick. You do it on my phone. It's hot up here. Getting hot. I live in Florida. It's like 95 out right now. All right, got it down. All right, here we go. Digibyte. Good bring up on Digibyte there, bud. Yeah, I don't know if you can do live stream timestamps. I'll look into that because I know that would help. Because I just skip around. I don't go in any order. I don't even know what I'm gonna do. Right? I just take requests. So I can look at timestamps. I don't think you can do them on live streams. I haven't seen that happen before. But yeah, BitConnect. There's memes on that. There's a dubstep remix to BitConnect on YouTube. You can go look up crypto music BitConnect. It's like electronics EDM dance music. It's not too bad. Speaking of that, have you seen the Pumpamentals remix with Ivan on Tech? Hopefully you have. My ringtone, so. My kids love it. You can go look at the video right now. Go do it. Pumpamentals. It's spelled with a P-A, though. P-A-M-P. BitConnect, the first scam. That was, I think 2017, right? 2016, 2017. When I was getting into it. They were catchy. I mean, they hyped the hell out of everybody. All right. RLC, I'll just get back on track. I get lost. I'm just talking to the fun gang. I'm gonna go with that. Is this what you want, RLC? It's a green chart, by the way. Crossing channels green. We don't need that anymore. Moving averages, above all moving averages. Holding the EMA 34. EMA 34. It gets a little bit more of a drawdown than most. Our 618. Let's see where that's at. The 1618 is at 133. Whew. Don't you wish? We have 5x to get back to all-time highs. And another 38x to get to the 1618. Let's see if we can do that. Oof. Whoa, what the hell happened there? That exchange. We'll go from the lows here. Lows to highs, 2021. So it's been around for a while, 7,000%. How about this cycle? (2022, 2022). We're at 2023. How about our lows here then? Go for my lows here. 500, roughly just shy of 500%. We got to the 618, right at 450. No surprise there. Also range highs, lots of interaction there. So good sign is when you get rejected at, you know, key levels. It's not a surprise. It's the more textbook your coins act on a chart, the stronger they are and the more you can rely on those levels, right? In the future. We didn't even cross the EMA 8 over the 14. Another strong sign. Momentum remains on the bull side big time. I wouldn't doubt if we're at, you know, local highs again here in the next kind of wave up pretty quickly here. Certainly if Bitcoin holds relatively bullish and steady. So we got really to get to new local highs, 43%, 786 right after. Then yeah, so 5x new all-time highs. No doubt that it'll get there, right? That seems more than doable. Up here, I don't know. Seems like that's a little bit much to ask to do another, you know, 38, 39x this cycle from current prices. Probably not. So if we wanted to do that and get a more realistic kind of fib extension, let's look at it here. The 1618, 830, right? So the $8 level might be pretty pivotal, though the 786 and the shorter terms 1618, $20. Whoops. Undo that. There we go. So you got 8, 20, 50, 90. That's still a tall ask, right? Just areas of interest, and it's only based on this short, you know, several week downtrend, so I wouldn't put too much into that, but just worth noting. Like if you're up really big and you're like, hey, I remember $20 level seemed to be big. Let me take some profits, right? Or we can look at this again later. Actually, we can do, I put more weight into this because we have so much more data, but we don't, the only reason we're doing this and looking at this is so we can get intra levels from this, because we're not going to go from 16 to 133 without some hesitation, right? And again, keep in mind 133 I don't think is really on the cards for this cycle. So these levels seem a little bit more realistic to me, even though it's a green chart. Looks good. Looking at the chat, it looks like I got some catch up to do. Hang on a second. My big dog. I don't think he's ever been on camera. Let's see if I can get him up here. He's nudging out my knee. Here. Come here. Oh shit, he's big. He's like 100 pounds. Can I get him? Hey, you. His name is Runner. He's all brown. His nose is brown. His eyes are brown. His paws are brown. There's no spots on him. He's brown. God, he's heavy as hell though. Giant. He's a rescue. He's our first rescue. Had him for about 6 years now. Gosh. Not that he likes me at all, but he likes me for food. All right. All right. I guess he's just gonna stay up here at this point. Total guesstimation for the cap on the top. AI total market cap expectations. We've got some loaded questions here, bud. Think market share increase will stay about stable. This. How about we pick one? Let's go look at, how about altcoin market cap? We can look at that. That'll be a pretty big kind of tell. Have the fib levels on this. So 1618 here. I don't think we'll surpass that. So the top 125 in crypto and altcoins, right? So if you don't know, Total 3 is the top 125 altcoins. Okay. So I would be hard pressed to guess that we're going to get past the 1618. So currently the top, now you got to keep in mind, there's some massive market caps in there that will only 2 or 3x, right? So to think we're going to do another, you know, roughly 4x, 3 to 4x, top 125 wide, that's still pretty strong because you get those, obviously you get some outside of the top 125 that'll 10 to 20, 30x for sure. Even some of those ones that are out there will get in the top 125, so this can shift around, but I think roughly, I would guess like 1.5 to 2.5, something in there. Once we get up there, we need to, again, take a look around, check left, check right, make sure everything's still good, or should we be taking profits and not be stupid here, right? Let's go look at the total market cap. So same thing. We're on the now. What's the difference? This includes Ethereum and Bitcoin. Okay, if you're wondering. So 7 trillion. So this is 108. I think that's relatively on the cards, right? Somewhere around in there, potentially happen. A high of 3 trillion. So looking at the 1618 there, 7 trillion market cap. Maybe a little bit higher, but maybe not, right? We're halfway through. Let's see what we did so far. The bottom to the top, 273%. So can we do it stronger now? That's in line, right? You shouldn't be moving more than that with Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin's not likely going to do what it did from the start of the bull run up until March, right? What was that? That was a pretty significant move, right? For it to do that again, right? That's not that part of the cycle. It's not like it's got all its power left. So I think that makes sense to me. 7 trillion total market cap, 2 trillion or so for altcoins. Hopefully that answers something. One of your 70 questions. Just kidding. Ondo, good request. I think we got that in here. Look, see. All right, another green chart. At the weekly, nice breakout. If we get a move down, the dollar area, right? The throwback, that would be a bullish retest. No panic. Let's look at the daily. Holding the EMA 8 support. Perfectly perfect for a bullish move. And not only that, but what we talk about a lot on some of these live streams when we see them, little rounded formations, and you got your lid line and your breakout. Throwback, if it was going to happen, might have happened here, right? But it didn't, and that's when you know you're really bullish. Then you got to buy. If you missed buying here, you got to buy right there when it starts to lift off again. Then you just put your stop loss like right under there, and then you can just maybe ride this for a while, because this is a nice little setup here, right? Good looking chart across all time frames here. Even though we don't have a whole lot of history, the history we do have looks spectacular. Okay, look at the Gaussian to see. I'm sure we're well above it. Look down to the daily, still above it. Look at I held the median daily Gaussian right there. One red candle out of all these. See that one? Didn't like what it saw. It turned back. It realized it was getting a little too lazy and had to put in the work again. 4 hour. Good, even the 4 hour. I mean, just stellar. Looks great. Ondo from, geez, just in the last like 3 weeks, it's 2x in 3 weeks. Probably since we've been talking about on the stream. So amazing move there. Good coin. Good request. Still looking fabulous. All right. Yeah, Elliott wave theory. That's funny you say that. Similar to astrology. That's about as accurate as Elliott wave theory is. Yeah, I don't really like Elliott wave theory. I think it's way too subjective. And I think if people count the waves wrong, it's obviously the whole thing's wrong. Or analysts that use that and it misses their projected forecast. It's like they just shift it. That was ABC correction instead of ABCDE correction, or vice versa, and they'll flip it and they'll be like, oh, we're just actually in the longer wave here. Forget it, right? Way too subjective to be using that. Maybe you can use it as a backup, but like to be using all your money just based on Elliott wave theory is batshit crazy, in my opinion. But the worst part of Elliott wave theory is like if you get one thing off, The whole thing is wrong. And almost very few people get that accurate, okay, no matter what they're looking at. I could show you this chart right here and give it to 5 analysts, and we would probably get 5 different Elliott wave theory charts, if that says anything. We would at least get a couple different ones, right? And if it's that, and I'm talking like experienced traders, people that have been professional for 10 years plus, would get different answers for Elliott wave theory for just this chart in front of us. I promise. So that's why I don't really like using it. Glad you asked. Thanks for joining. If you had to leave, yeah, I get it. Come and go as you please. It's not, it's not a prison. Reading the chat here. The Puppamentals made your 13-year-old turn it off. Yeah, just let it grow. They'll be asking for it tonight. All right? It's, just give it some time. It'll grow on you. Appreciate the comments, the compliments. Appreciate all of you. We've been going for just over an hour. Might as well call it here for today. Appreciate it. We'll do this again tomorrow. We'll be back. Same bat channel, same bat time. Around 3:15 Eastern time. Keep it about an hour. Doing these during the week. Try to help you out. Get in shape for the bull run. I have nothing else to gain. This is all for you guys. I don't shill anything. So, thanks for joining. Thanks for trying to learn. Hopefully you can avoid something here. Helps you avoid all the bullshit I've been through over the past 7 years in crypto. But, yeah. I guess I'll wrap it up there. We'll look at more next time. Thanks so much for watching this long if you have. 78 gold stars to you. That's a big bump in gold stars today. Should type in the chat more. Here's spelled backwards. Low caps, high caps. That's the way to do it. All right, I'll wrap it up. Manny McGregor thanks you. All right, he's fighting June 29th, allegedly. I'll have to watch that one. Been a couple of years.